BMW has for a long time called its cars the ultimate driving machine. These are luxurious yet sporty German sedans. And the 7 Series, now in its 7th generation, has long been a kind of flagship model for that brand. If you were a high roller and you wanted to drive or be driven in a top-shelf luxury German sedan, this would definitely be one of your options. And in a lot of ways, that is still true. This car is a massive, high-performance machine.
It is the pinnacle of what we produce when it comes to luxury, but obviously always performance, because this is BMW. You always have the ultimate driving machine.
The fastest version of the 7 Series right now has a 0 to 60 time of 3.5 seconds. That is absurd for a car this large. You know, the rear seats are as luxurious as the front seats.
BMW has unveiled the latest version of this vehicle in New York City in April, and it calls this the most extensive update the company has ever undertaken on a single model.
If you look at the car with those clear lines, it really has the presence a 7 Series needs. I mean, this is not a car you sneak in and nobody notices. This is definitely a car where you make an entrance or you make a grand entrance. We have 500 different colors to choose from for the paint for your exterior. Now in the interior, between materials and colors and trim, you have 700 different combinations how you can spec the car in the interior.
But this majestic class of full-size luxury sedans are no longer the only flagships in automakers' lineups.
Most of the big luxury automakers now effectively have 2 flagships in the form of the sedan and the big 3-row SUV. And the SUV easily outsells the sedan. But I think they build these days more to prove that they can than anything else.
In the US, the full-size SUV, the X7, now eclipses sales of the 7 Series, and that SUV is made in Spartanburg, South Carolina, while the 7 Series is made in a factory in Germany. All imports from the EU come with a 15% duty. Trade pressures favor the US-made SUV.
It definitely hurts the business case. It doesn't completely debunk the business case.
Pearson said that when you get into the rarefied air of vehicles with 6-figure price tags, customers tend to be a bit less price sensitive.
You could put the price, and they have put the price of the car up, and offset a lot of that tariff into the market. And when you think about the competition for the 7 Series, particularly the S-Class, yeah, that's also imported as well. So your competition will also be motivated to increase prices.
Tariffs are in the end a cost to us, like we have other costs in our overall value chain, and then we have to deal with that.
It's not going to stop you from bringing a sedan like the 7 Series to the United States as it is now.
It does not.
But the turn toward SUVs, even in luxury, is very evident in the number of rivals that have dropped their sedans from their lineups. Lexus, Audi, Cadillac, Lincoln, a number of different automakers, American, European, and Asian, have all decided to either withdraw sedans from the US market or discontinue production entirely.
We always have been a very successful sedan brand. We have a healthy share of sedan in our overall sales, and we like sedans. A lot of BMW customers like sedans, and we have no intention to stop offering sedans also in the future.
You are just being just purely economical about it and not thinking about image and brand, just saying, well, is this model worth the return? You might say no. You might say, actually, we don't need it anymore. It's not where the market is. We're just going to do the X7. But as I say, there is still this flagship sort of element to it. It tends to be quite heavily used as a chauffeur-driven car. You'll see a lot of them in the streets of Manhattan, driving important executives around. So it's quite a lot of, I guess, emotional attachment to it, maybe.
It's reputational. The armored version of the 7 Series is literally used to carry dignitaries at G7 meetings. This is something BMW builds for the reputational side of it more than for the sales side of it. This is everything BMW can build, so it's a showpiece.
Perhaps most significant in this update is the rollout of what BMW calls Neue Class. It started out as an EV architecture, EV platform, but Since then, BMW has taken a lot of those design and technology elements and decided to spread them out across the company's entire lineup. The 7 Series is going to be the first vehicle that they introduce a lot of these new features on.
So you can fold down the theater screen, so you can adjust it to how you are seated, so you have the best comfort watching.
Wow, that's incredible. Oh, and there's an ottoman coming up.
Fasten your seatbelt, ready for takeoff.
BMW is offering a number of different powertrains on this vehicle. They've got ICE, they've got electric, they've got plug-in hybrids. That reflects a lot of the fragmentation in terms of consumer choice lately. EVs were supposed to take over the US market and really much of the world, and they've really fallen short of those expectations for now. BMW still offers an EV in this market, even though sales have been challenged and EVs are facing some headwinds, but it's also got some gas versions.
We know from the customers who bought our vehicles in the past that a huge majority of them would like to have another electric vehicle afterwards. And we see this as a growing segment of the market. Probably it will grow slower than was predicted by many experts in the past, but there's a clear future for electric vehicles also in the BMW lineup.
While the auto industry is facing a lot of challenges in terms of investments in EVs, autonomous driving, and software-defined vehicles, and has a lot of concerns about trade barriers around the world and competition from China, the good news for the luxury segment in the US is that it is expected to grow over the next decade or so. And BMW beat Lexus to take the top spot in US luxury in 2025. Despite some of the headwinds that the sedan segment is facing, a look at the 7 Series might give some ideas as to how BMW is going to maintain that lead. Where do you want to improve?
We want to improve on all elements. Customer treatment, how do we go to market? How do our dealers represent our brand even better? How do we have more people decide themselves to say, I really want to drive a BMW and not a vehicle from one of the other manufacturers? I'm sorry I cannot talk about our sales plan for this year.
I have to ask.
But I can tell you it is ambitious.
Okay, it is ambitious.
It is ambitious.
So you're bullish on luxury autos in the United States?
We are bullish on the BMW performance in the United States.